What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what's going on with Stellar Blade, a personal kind of favorite of mine. This is a game that always jumped out at me when it was first announced, when it was Project Eve, and then eventually when it was Stellar Blade. The game looks phenomenal, in my opinion, every time that we've seen it, and even before I recorded this, I wanted to go back specifically to the 2021 look that we got of the game, which I actually think is more than we got last year in 2022. We got more gameplay in 2021. The game looks phenomenal, or looked phenomenal back then, looked phenomenal in 2022 as well. But here we are, almost a year after we last saw it. So a little timeline, right, is, September of 2021. That's when it was Project Eve. That's when we got a really big chunk of gameplay and kind of just understanding of what this game is. Then we go back a year later in September of 2022, and we see it at a state of play, and it gets the name Stellar Blade. Again, looks awesome. And now we're about a year after that. Now, the game is supposed to come out this year. See, honestly, you could just say, well, it seems like there's a pattern. It seems like every September they show the game. And, honestly, I wouldn't put it past them or put it past Sony to do another state of play or a showcase, right? They did one showcase. Maybe they do a second one, or maybe they do a smaller state of play thing. But I wouldn't put it past them to do something in September or October and show this game again. The issue, if you want to call it an issue, is the game's supposed to release in 2023, and thus, okay, well, it's either going to get delayed or it's going to come out this year. Now, I think at this point, can I just say something and be real? September and October are too packed. I don't know what's going on, but there's like 10 games each of those 2 months. There's way too many of them. I don't know how people can afford those games. And then you go to November and December, and November is starting to fill up a little bit, but there's not nearly the volume there. And then December literally just has Avatar, and that's it. Okay, so if Stellar Blade were to come out this year, I would do whatever kind of prayer necessary to ensure that this game comes out in December of 2023. I think that would be the best spot for it. It would also be, hey, we're still coming out in 2023, just as late as humanly possible. However, in the gaming industry that we know it. We know that delays happen. We know delays happen a lot, and they happen to pretty much every single game under the sun. So I would not be shocked at all if we do see it again. I do think we have to see it this year. I really do believe that. It's not a little devil inside. I don't think the game's canceled or anything, but I think we need to see it again, and they need to give a date. And if the date is 2024, if it's January or February of 2024, that's totally fine, but I do think, we'll need that. So hopefully we get something again September, October. It does make sense, give the showcase a couple months to breathe. Not that it was very good, and then you show something, you do a state of play or a PlayStation showcase in the fall period. And Stellar Blade really should be one of your big games. When I think to not even just, when you think the first party games, you might think of like Death Stranding, even though, Hideo Kojima, actually that's almost the same thing because Hideo Kojima is not owned by PlayStation. So you think that Death Stranding, that's kind of third party or second party, right? Because it's got that exclusivity. Stellar Blade is there. Beyond Spider-Man and then things like that, or Ghost of Tsushima 2 or The Last of Us multiplayer. Stellar Blade is one of the first things that jumps into my mind in terms of things that I get excited for exclusively on PlayStation going forward. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.